Hello, my name's Cam, and I run a podcast for the Transformers trading card game called Double Pipcast. Every week we talk about some of the things going on in the Transformers trading card universe, whether it's tournaments, new cards that are coming out, and we have a ton of fun. For a while now, though, I've been wanting to do a video series based on how to play the game, from a very basic level to some more advanced techniques, and really make it a one-stop shop. So by the end of this, you should be able to play the game from start to finish with friends, family, your kids, anybody. So enough talk, let's get into it. So the Transformers trading card game is very similar to other trading card games you may have played, or even very similar to basic card games like War. So the object of the game, unlike Pokemon, unlike Magic the Gathering, is basically just to KO the other character's bots. Whereas in Pokemon, you have to gather prize cards, or you can win by running your opponent's deck out, or even KOing all of their characters. In Transformers, we're just worried about this character, beating this character, and wiping them out. So some of the basics, there's character cards, which you see on the table here. Then there are battle cards, which make up your deck. You need to have 40 battle cards minimum, and then you can only have a 25-star maximum worth of characters. And we'll get into star costs here momentarily, but you can see that Optimus Prime is a 13-star card. So we have to defeat all our opponents. That means we want to do a lot of attack damage and mitigate or stop all the attack damage that we possibly can. We do that with our characters' stat lines and the battle points that come off of battle cards. So let's take a look at Optimus Prime Battlefield Legend and go through what comprises a character card. So we have a name, Optimus Prime. We have a title, Battlefield Legend, which as of now is just for flavor, doesn't add anything else to the game besides giving them a title and allowing you to distinguish, outside of some of the other things on the card, one Optimus Prime from another. So we have the next thing here is, and I'm sorry Optimus, I'm covering up your face, we have some traits, and each character has different traits. Some of them are shared, and right here we have a leader trait. Then we also have a ranged trait. Then we go down and we have a stat line. So every character has an attack, a health, and a defense. Then we have a reminder here of what the alt mode attack defense are. We have the faction icon or emblem. We have an ability that's available on this card side. And then you have some stuff based on the set, such as a wave icon, the wave number, and rarity and card number out of the set. Going back to the stat line, so we have an attack of 8 and a defense of 2, a health of 14. This is really cool art, by the way. So then if we look at the alt mode reminder, hey, so my attack goes up, but my attack goes down, but my defense goes up. That's usually the case. So they hunker down into their vehicle mode, they have a little bit more defense. So if you take a look, that's the stat line. You'll notice that the health stays the same. And that is, as of now, that is always going to be the case. The health never changes. So you can't have, let's say, a bunch of damage on one side and then accidentally flip over and knock yourself out. The ability is different. Not every character will have an ability, but most will. And then on the alt mode side, that's where you can also see your star cost. So again, Optimus Prime, he's a very good card, so he's got a high star cost, going back to the fact that we need 25 stars maximum in our deck. 13, we're talking about more than half. So that is Optimus Prime, and I look at character cards. Now getting into the battle cards, these battle cards, a couple of different things to notice about them is, hey, they also have a title. That way you know what cards, how to differentiate them from each other. They have these battle points here, or some people call them pips. You have the type of card that it is, so if you can see there, it's an upgrade weapon. There are 3 different types of upgrades, and we'll get into that later. We've got some text there. We're not going to worry about that right now because, again, this is just the start video. Then you also have your information, copyright information, your wave info, rarity, so on and so forth. So we've got a couple different colors of battle icons. If you look at the character cards, attack and defense, you might wonder, or you might start to make some associations with what orange and blue do. You also got a white icon in there, like White Mystery from Airheads. So anyway, these battle cards are going to determine how much more damage you do when you attack and how much less damage you take on defense. We'll get more into that during combat. So what we've learned in this video is that your deck must have 40 battle cards. You cannot have more than 25 stars in your deck in terms of characters and battle cards. We'll get into that later. And your characters have traits. Those traits allow one card to... It gives them access to other cards in your battle deck, or maybe another character that you're playing with on your team plays off of another trait. And then we also learned that our characters have stat lines. Those stat lines determine your attack, defense, and health. You have abilities. Your characters have different modes that they can flip into. And that your battle cards are what we need in order to add more attack or more damage or more defense to our combat. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned to the next video where we go over basic turns, how a turn goes on, and how to play through a game. We're not going to get into the nitty-gritty details, but we'll just show an attack, show a defense, and resolve that. Hopefully you enjoyed, and stay tuned for the next one.